Hey guys, Significant Donor here, and welcome back. If it's your first time, welcome. Today we are not doing a review, but again, a overview. And this is going to be part 2 of a series because I did a temp trade with fellow Michigan flipper, Steve, aka Scuba Flips. I traded my Cygnus V2 Kite Beta and my custom rep for the Opus V2 Max Ace Petrol. And today's subject, the FrankenForge Voltaic. This will give you guys more content to enjoy, so please give Steve at Scuba Flips a big thanks. And if anyone lives in Michigan, let us know. Maybe we can do a meetup with all Michigan flippers. And with that, let's get into it. So real quick, who is FrankenForge? They are a knife maker based out of Florida, known for their custom rep blades, or previously the Galvanus static, and their folding knife, the Electrode. I think out of a lot of knife makers, they have made some of the most interesting balisongs, and personally for me, some of the most striking blade shapes out there, especially the Japanese tanto and the Western tanto. They make some amazing stuff, and they do have a nice website for you to look at all their catalogs, so if you have time, you definitely should. You should check it out during this video. So far out of all of the products, I have tried the Galvanus static and of course the Voltaic, and I gotta say, honestly, good job. The Galvanus I did own for a good period of time, but I sold it to try some other balisongs, and I absolutely loved it because it was a slightly smaller balisong with a lighter weight that just hit the sweet spot for me, and it flipped incredibly well, sounded fantastic, and was just a comfortable balisong to flip. I did wish I kept it, but that's okay. I may pick one up down the road. A static, on the other hand, is something I did not enjoy because it felt incredibly sluggish, and I think after that I just realized titanium channel balisongs are just going to be too much for me. And again, I'm not saying it's a bad balisong, it just didn't fit my preference, and that's okay. And this week I've had the amazing opportunity to try the Voltaic, just unfortunately discontinued at this time, and here are the specs for you to look at. Again, like the Opus, we actually have grade 5 titanium chain wedge handles and a S35 VN blade that runs on bushings. Now let's talk about flipping. So with the time that I've spent flipping this, I already have quite a few thoughts on it. Here are some clips of me flipping it, doing a lot of the basic tricks, and there is a weight system, but Steve gave this to me with no weights. That's what they recommended. So for fans, they feel pretty stable. I can do them pretty easily, but there's definitely some weight and some level of effort to execute them. So with tricks such as the choker and Z choker, there is a bit of a sluggishness to it. The rollover tricks, most rollovers honestly felt pretty good. I think it did struggle with the helix a little bit because the balisong, it's a little weird because there are somehow ass weight, but also no ass weight. There's a lot of material in the end of the handles, but it still feels kind of hollow because there's no brass weight pins inside. Yeah, it's probably because it is hollow, that's why it feels hollow. And I know for a fact though, if I did put a weight in this, it would actually be too much for me because this is already feeling a bit on the sluggish side, and with any extra weights, it's going to be too much for me. It's kind of strange. This balisong is a bit of an enigma in my opinion. So honestly, flipping wise, I think it's perfectly fine. Do I hate it? Absolutely not. Do I love it? Not really either. I do think the chipping is actually fantastic, and it's actually one of the very few Chanwich balisongs that have good chipping. The others being the Opus and the Seraph that have flipped, and I can ladder this quite comfortably. So between this, the Galvanus, and the static, let's see how they rank. So at the very bottom, the static, that's kind of what I expected. Number 2 is going to be the Voltaic, and the very top option for me is going to be the Galvanus. And that's mainly for one reason: momentum. So the Galvanus is a very light and nimble balisong, and I naturally gravitate towards balisongs that require a little less effort for flipping. And I like how they flow, and I already kind of have bad wrists. I've broken this one before, and so I want to prevent any more strain than I need to. In the static, it's just too sluggish, requiring a lot of momentum to flip, and it's incredibly end weighted. It can do rollovers, and Chaplin's fantastic, but god, is it tiring to do so. Voltaic is kind of an in-between, where it's not very nimble and it also isn't incredibly sluggish. And again, this balisong isn't bad, it just doesn't fit my preference. it's perfectly fine. That's what it is. Design-wise, I'm actually quite a huge fan of FrankenForge's design language. For one, all of their blade designs are cool and unique in some level, and they're most obvious, the Western Tanto. So the Tanto itself has a harpoon back, which I think already makes it unique, and it's very, very exaggerated, so it's not subtle, and I kind of enjoy that. And then also, I actually kind of enjoy the step or the laddering, I forgot what it's called, on the blade, because it gives it a bit of texture and it emphasizes the blade. For the Japanese Tanto, I think it looks cool, and the cooker blade, I am also a huge fan of that. And the most recent actually is the static, with a new blade called the Railgun, which is a double-edged blade. Two, I actually like smaller size balisongs, and with the static and the galvanized, those were actually shorter in the handles. And for me, it actually felt easier to carry even though it wasn't that much smaller, and it just made it a lot more fun to flip because it was a little bit more interesting. And last but not least, I think the handle designs of FrankenForge's Ballies are very nice, especially the ends of the handles. There's a lot of focus on a lot of textures, lines, and cutouts. So there's cutouts along the pivot area here. There's very deep jimping with spherical shape in each corner of the handle. Again, this is what makes the jimping so good because it actually has decent grip. Now, other than the minor complaints that I had with its flipping performance, these don't feel very finished. The cutouts on the handles and the corners feels unfinished. And Steve even agrees that they enjoy flipping this, but it's not a comfortable flipper to flip over long periods of time, which is a bit unfortunate because this balisong comes in at around $500. Granted, the price also comes from the materials and work hours, as FrankenForge is a single individual making everything by hand. And if you're interested in the style of balisongs, I could easily give the Galvanist the recommendation to go because I think it's a really cool and a good flipper. And especially because the Galvanist, like the Voltaic here, has an S35VN blade. So if you want a good blade steel, that has it and has nice channel aluminum handles and it's good to flip. I will likely be getting another Galvanist down the road, and I'm always happy to see balisong makers, especially those who make some of the coolest pieces, continue putting the work out there for us to try and buy. So FrankenForge is still making ballads. They do have an Instagram, so you should definitely check that out too if you want to see any drops. You know, the Voltaic itself, although it's not a perfect balisong, I think it is a shockingly fun flipper. Thank you for watching, and thank you, Steve from Scuba Flips, of course, for lending it to me. We have one more ballad to go, so please keep your eyes out for that one. And for you out there, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, please take care of yourself. Please take care of those that you love. Be a kind and wonderful person, and of course, have a wonderful day. Thank you.